Happy to see you all in one more video telling you the summary of the lesson, what is man without beasts, in the unit 4 of our English textbook of SSC Board, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. Here we see Chief Seatle. You can see Chief Seatle in the picture. He is the chief of the tribals. He is a tribal head. And the speech that we read today, that we come to know today, this lesson is a speech. And this speech is called as the Gospel of the Greens. Such great a speech it is. That is, it is a guide for everything. Once you go through this speech, you will know what exactly nature is. The right interpretation of nature we get in this speech. And this speech was given at a moment when the whites were asking the tribals to evacuate the land so that they give them another land and they can use the forest land for their own use. So at this moment, the Chief Seatle delivers this speech. Now let's get into the speech. How can you buy or sell the sky, the warmth of the land? The idea is strange to me. When the earth does not belong to me, when the warmth of the land does not belong to me, when the sky does not belong to me, how can I sell it if it doesn't belong to me? That idea itself is strange. And he says, how can you buy the freshness of air or the sparkle of water from me? It's just impossible, but because it doesn't belong to me at all. And he says, every part of the earth is sacred. Sacred means holy. It is divine to the people, to the tribes over there. And he says, every shining pine needle, that means the needle-shaped leaves of the pine tree, even though the leaf doesn't have a shape, it's like a needle. Though it may be small, it is sacred to us. The sandy shores, the shores are sacred to us. The mist, the small dewdrops are also sacred to us. In the dark woods, in the sense, the thick forest, it may not be visible to anyone. It may be a small drop, but it is sacred to us. And every clear and humming insect, the insect may have a clear sound or an unclear sound, but that is sacred to us. And he says, the sap means the seed which carries which grows into a plant, into a tree. It is not just a plant into a tree, it carries the memories of the red man. It is a part of the red man and it carries the memories of the red man. And he says, we are a part of the earth and it is a part of us. That means when we are separated from the earth or the earth is separated from us, we both are incomplete. We are inseparable parts. We are one into other. So it is very much out of our control. It's out of our limits to get separated, but it's inevitable. So we are getting separated. The perfumed flowers are our sisters. Now he says sisters. Sisters means, this is a metaphor here. That is, he says the flowers are his sisters. That means they are a part of his family. The perfumed flowers are our sisters. The deer, the horse, the great eagle, these are our brothers. How much close we are to the brothers of our family, the same way we are close to the animals, the deer, the horse, even the birds, the eagle, these are all our brothers. The rocky crests and the dews in the meadows, the body heat of the pony and the man, all belong to the same family. He says not only these living things, even the non-living things, the rocky crests, the cracks in the rocks, yes, and the juices in the meadows. Juice means in the grass, in the middle you have the juicy thing. That may be small, but we all belong to a same family. The heat of the pony, body heat, when man travels on the pony exchanges its warmth with the man. So that warmth is also a part of our family. We all belong to the same family. And he says, when the great chief in Washington sends word that he wants to buy our land, it's not land that we are selling, it is much a part part of us. And he says he will reserve, he would make a place, an accommodation for us where we can live safely. But it's not possible for us to live so happily and comfortably as he thinks, because the earth is a part of us. We are leaving it and coming it. We have the pain of separation from our land. And then he says about the water, the shining water that moves in streams and rivers. It's not just water but the blood. Blood denotes sacrifice. Our ancestors have sacrificed their lives to safeguard this forest from all the harms that it had confronted. So it's not just the water, it is the blood of our ancestors. So he says, when we sell you our land, treat them as you would treat our brothers. And he says the sound that is made by the water is not just the sound of the water, it is our forefathers speaking to us. The sound is the sound of our forefathers speaking to us. We have heard them speak with the sound of the running water. And he also says that the rivers, they had carried their canoes. Canoes means the boats. Boats have a sail. The boats without a sail are called canoes. The canoes have carried their food from one place to another. They have helped them to feed their children. And he says whenever they look at their reflection in the water, they should tell their next generation how our ancestors have safeguarded this land. That is, the white man has to tell his ancestors, his successors, his next generation, how the red man's ancestors had taken care of the land, of the forest, how much the forest was a part of them. And then precious, he says the air is precious to the red man. Why? For all things have the same breath. The one air which is there in this atmosphere, it is air for both the beast. Beast means animal, the tree, the man, everyone has the same air. We have to share the same air. So we have to keep it very preciously. And he says that the white man has polluted the air and he is unaware of the stench. Stench means bad smell. So he says that because of the pollution, the air has got contaminated and it is unfit for breathing. Yet the white man hasn't even realized that how stenchy, how stinky he has made the air, and he is still more polluting it. But mind it, when we give you our land, the air on our land is pure. You ought to keep it pure. So he says, you must remember the air is precious to us. The air shares its spirit with all the life. So till the air goes in and comes out of a man, till then only a man is a man. After that, he is a corpse, he is a dead body. So air is not just a air, it is the spirit of a man. He says this air is the one which had taken the spirit of the spirit of my grandfather has mixed into this air. So it is where my spirit, the spirit of my grandfather resides, and it is the air which gave the first breath to the baby. So air is not just the air as you all think, it is much more than that. And then he says that that they need to promise to safeguard the beasts of the land. Beast means animals. Why he is being so particular is, he says, I am a savage. Savage means I am an uncivilized person. I don't know other way. I know only these plants, animals, these rocks and all the same. And he says, I have seen thousands of rotting buffaloes. Many of the buffaloes had been shot dead by the people traveling in the trains. They had shot the buffaloes and they have left them as it is, and the buffaloes were rotting in the prairie grassland. So he says, I don't understand how a smoking iron horse, here the smoking iron horse denotes the train which has the smoke, the steam engine, the smoke coming out of it, and it is made of iron. So he says, I don't know how the smoking iron horse is more important than a buffalo. He says the iron horse doesn't have life, the train doesn't have life, but the buffalo has life. I don't know what made them kill the buffalo. And he says that they ought to keep the animals safe, then only he can give his land to them. And now about the earth, he says, you must teach your children that the ground beneath their feet is the ashes of our grandfathers. Generally, when people die, we bury them in the land, and the land is what consists of the ashes. When someone is cremated, the ashes are again onto the land. So it's not just the land, it is the ashes, it is the remembrance of our grandfathers. So he says that, so why you should tell them that this is the ashes of grandfather? Because they should know how to respect the land. And then he says that the earth is our mother. Teach the children that the earth is our mother. This is again a metaphor. How we respect our mother, so should we respect our earth. And he says that earth does not belong to man. Man thinks he's a silly fellow. He thinks earth belongs to him. No, that's not right. Man belongs to the earth, because once he is dead, he is going to go to the earth. So he says earth does not belong to man, man belongs to the earth. And then he says that man is thinking that he is utilizing the nature for his good. He is exploiting the earth, maybe exploiting the water, maybe contaminating the air, maybe, and he is using it, but he doesn't know. He is unable to understand that when he pulls one strand of the web of a spider, the entire web would be collapsed. He hasn't realized that he is one of the strands in that. He thinks that he is a man and there is a web. No, man is a part of the web. Once he disturbs, any one of them is disturbed, ultimately the entire web is collapsed, and so does man gets collapsed, because he is also a part of that web. And then he says that man is going on exploiting this land, man is going on destroying all the natural resources. He says that even the white man whose God walks and talks with him, he says the white man has a God who talks with him, he has a living God with him, he too cannot escape the consequences. Why? Because man, the God is the creator. The creator gave a gift to man. So will God like the person who preserves the gift or the one who spoils the gift? Exactly. God likes the one who respects the creation, respects the gift given by God to him. So he says that God is impartial. He doesn't know who is a savage, he doesn't show any partiality, no differences. He knows who has respected his nature, him will he reward accordingly. So the red man is definitely going to be rewarded by God. And he says that where is the thicket gone? Thicket means the thick bushes. All of them have been destroyed. And he says that the secret corner of the forest, heavy with scent of many men. Secret corners also the men have explored, gone there, occupied, and done all researches, and they have occupied it. So there is not a place where man has gone. And he says that wherever there were big trees and mountains, there are now transformers, electric wires are there, where once there were very calm and dark forests where animals enjoyed their life. So he says, but in your perishing you will shine brightly, fired by the strength of God, who brought you to this land and for some special purpose gave you dominion over this land, over the red man. So he says that how a lamp burns very bright, it's going to be put out. So the same way, before you are going to be put out, this is the great domination you are showing by kicking us out from our land. This is the usage of dominion. Don't think you are going to burn forever. There are days where you have to answer God for making us evacuate our land. And he says that what is man without beasts? Man would die of loneliness. Without beasts, there is no companion for man, and ultimately man will die of loneliness. That is what Chief Seattle says. Yes, is it not pretty much true in our lives? We are contaminating the air, we are exploiting the nature, and we are thinking that we are enjoying the supremacy, but we forget to know that we are a part of it. Once we degrade it, that is naturally going to degrade us. Hope you all understood this lesson. Do comment in the comment box and let me know your opinion. Thank you and have a great day.